Commission meeting of July 14th, 21 to order. Welcome, everybody. Happy sunny Connecticut in July, huh? You know, I thought I saw some people building an ark this morning, so we certainly have had our wetness. There's no doubt about it. We have the minutes of the previous meeting of last month of the 9th of June, and mostly, as well it should be, it was dominated by our, the ASC and so forth, but any edits, corrections, additions should be made to the minutes. Did anyone notice anything? Hearing nothing, can I have a motion to accept as presented?
Make a motion to accept as presented.
John has a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Norris with a second. Any comments? Hearing none, I'll vote it to ayes. Acceptance, ayes. Nays?
I'll abstain only because I wasn't there.
I was
Okay.
an aye. I'm an aye.
Okay, so Shauna is an abstention. I assume then we move forward with passing of the minutes there. That's great. Usually, me, wanting to jump into schools, but I don't know if Linda's not on yet. Let's move right into the ASC. Vicky or Linda or whomever, would you like to give a quick overview of the meetings after our meeting or the meetings before?
Yeah, I mean, basically, the meeting before that we had the opening meeting with them, she just more or less went over exactly what she was going to do and things like that. The commissioner happened to be on it, which was good. And then the meeting after, she went over, her findings and what she saw that would most likely be in her report, which we have not received yet. And the only major, and they weren't even major, they were minor things that she found was a couple of things with the applications that needed to be tweaked and included some language as far as previous suspensions and stuff in other states, mostly with the temporary and with the appraisal management company application. And then there was one small section of the, Vicki, was it a statute or the reg that has to be tweaked again?
I believe it's the statute.
Right, but it was regarding AMCs. And we thought we had sent it to her and she said it was fine, and now she's saying it's not. So that was really all that was. Anything else, Vicki?
No, I think that was pretty much it in terms of the overall review. I think we just have to wait to see, because she just said, these are what we think may be in it. It's nothing concrete. So she may go back and get some input as to whether or not it really warranted, being included, the comments that she made. But for the most part, we were aware of most of them. The application changes we couldn't do until such time as we had, gotten the legislation approved. So
Right.
I think we're all set.
Okay. We will see them again in what, 2 years or 3?
Years 2023 is what they're saying now, is from this, they will basically alter everyone's schedule by a year, so to speak. So it'll be 2023.
Okay. Well, good. All right. Well, listen, at the end of the day, their job is to find, things. And if we've done
Right.
things wrong, we correct them and make whatever edits. But applaud the hard work that Linda, you've put in, Vicki, what you have put in, and Terry Jo helping, coordinate things. So it wouldn't have gone as smooth as it appears to have gone up to this point without your hard work. And we all certainly appreciate it and note that your efforts have been, well put. So thank you very much. Okay. We'll just keep going right into here on the new business. Joseph Nardini, RCG applicant, upgrading from an RCR, log approval and sample selection. Well, let's first of all go through the log. Any issues or questions from any of the members of the commission?
Yeah, I'm looking at the log now, and I think some of these may be oral reports and not, which is fine. But I do notice that some of the hours seem to be very consistent from one report to the next and not really varied. I mean, 42, 42, 10, you know what I mean? That's the only thing that concerns me on the log.
Enough that you want it to be revised from the applicant, John, or?
No, no, I just, I think that's something we can just ask him when the applicant, when they come in.
Okay.
But it seems like there's enough here.
Okay, let me ask you this, Linda, I know that you look at these things, it passes mustard with minimum hours presented.
He just needs 1,500 hours because he's already in RCR, so
Yeah.
he just needs the non-residential work.
Right, and I thought so let's just start with the log first. Can I get a motion to approve the log?
I'll make the motion to approve the log.
All right, Norris has made the motion to approve the log. A second?
I'll second it.
John has second. All right, comments or thoughts? Hearing none, I will call it the vote. Ayes,
Aye.
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 ayes, abstentions. So the log is approved. Okay, now, selection of reports. I have a couple, I thought I put 2 or 3 in, John, if you have 2 or 3 and.
Yeah.
And Shauna, whomever, you know,
I'm looking at one here that, just look down, it says 115 Elm Street, Meriden. It was done in February 2021, 6 family. I don't understand when they say address revision for square footage and cost approach insurable value, 3 hours. And the one before that, review report with CL and correct findings, 2 hours. I don't understand what those are. So I think I want to pick those 2 just to clear that out. And then, can I just tell you, Linda, now?
It was 151 Elm and Meriden, and what was the other one?
151 Elm Street, Meriden, and then 84 South First Street, Meriden. But I also want to see this Emerson Village, Weathersfield, because that is an apartment complex that, and I think it's income restricted and it's only got 10 hours. And then the other one is 2374 Fox Haven, Branford.
2347 Fox Haven.
Branford. I know that's a lot because Jerry's going to ask for a couple, but I.
That's
think it
okay.
may necessary in this case.
any more, John, or?
No, that's it. I figure
Okay.
you're going to pick a couple.
Yeah, I was gonna take one of the last ones he did, January 7th of 21, 356 Boston Post Road in Orange. John, it's kind of following up on your, you know, what is 8 hours, you know? And then I have one from 61 Bourbon Drive in Branford.
Is that a bar?
Well, some people call healthcare facilities bars, you know, so that's one, I guess. You know, get it intravenously, I guess, is how we look at it. And I had one other here. Where in heaven's name is it? Oh, here we go. I have my tags. I wanted to see the commercial restaurant on 224 North Main Street in Bristol, and that was done on April 15th of 21. That's the last, you know, one of the last submissions he put forth. So I wanted to see something from a couple years ago, where we are, the last thing, and see if there's growth or what have you, may or may not, whatever we find here. So I'm with you, John. I picked one also, wanted to see what's going on for 8 hours, you know, in that particular case. So I think we've got it covered. Anybody else? Shauna, did you happen to look at anything, or Norris?
I'm
No?
good with what you guys are doing.
Okay, fair enough. I think we're good for number 1 on new business, Mr. Nardini. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. Number 2 on here was Richard Fiango seeking equivalent education for a course, self-storage building workshop, 3 hours. I may have misplaced it when I was going through it on the flight, you know.
I'm not sure if I actually gave it to Terry Jo to send. This is the course that John taught.
Okay,
We approved John for teaching it, so I figured we didn't need the paper. You guys didn't need the paperwork each time it comes in.
okay, fair enough.
Was it a course? It was really a seminar.
Well, I just call everything courses, seminars, whatever they are, they're courses.
Don't elevate me.
That's how our system works.
Yeah, okay. Great, since we've been going through, can, any questions or concerns from any members of the commission? Hearing none, can I hear a motion to approve Mr. Fiango for the 3 hours of the self-storage building workshop?
I'll make that
I'll
motion.
make the motion.
Okay, Shauna beat everyone to it, so Shauna's got the motion. Norris, you'll take the second?
I'll take the second.
Norris has got the second. Comments? Questions? Hearing none. We'll take a vote. Ayes,
Aye.
nays, abstentions. We're in
Aye.
good shape.
I abstain.
Yes, John will abstain. The record will note. Very good. Thank you. All right, that takes care of new business. Now we move over to old business, and the Connecticut Appraisal Law course is number 1 on the old business list. There have been discussions, we're at 4 hours now, you know, there were some discussions of moving it back to 3. I know we tabled this back in April/May because getting ready for, you know, last month and our you know, our visit from our friendly folks out of DC. So are there any thoughts or comments or discussion that wants to be put up, you know, or put forth right now on this matter?
Jerry, can I just give you my thoughts as the department? There's some changes that need to be made, some revisions, technical ones, minor things. I would suggest that we leave, I know people want to move it back to 3 hours, but it may be easier now to just leave it at 4 hours for this cycle, since some people have already taken it for 4 hours. I know last cycle when we did increase it to 4 hours from 3, it was, a lot of people were wondering, do I have to retake the course or can I use the old one? And there was some issues with CE credit hours and stuff. So I would suggest you go back to, or leave it at 4 hours through this cycle, and then come May 1st, if you want to cut stuff out and go back down to 3 hours, we can work on that.
Okay,
That's just my opinion, but you guys make the decision.
okay.
Was Linda Sepsos trying to get on here? She's not on here?
I'm actually calling her now, Commissioner Galvin. I've been calling her in the background on her office line. So that's what you hear right there. I'll let you know if I do get her, but she has not shown up to the meeting yet. Thank you.
Jackie Bouchane, I see, is on the line. Can you please unmute yourself? From you being a school on the providers, you've had various instructors who presented this. Are there any thoughts from the provider side of the fence, so to speak?
Thank you, Chair Rasmussen. Yes, I had the opportunity to sit on every offering since the majority of them were done via Zoom. And even when we're in person, I'm usually there for most of the time, you know, since it's during a chapter meeting. And I can honestly tell you that I only heard negative feedback from all participants, that it was too long, it was dragged out, it could have been condensed into 3 hours. And a few of the instructors also felt that way, and they said they would be happy to reach out to, you know, commission with their comments and thoughts. But you know, some of the part of it is a lot on USPAP, and USPAP is a required course as well. So some of the examples or some of the items that are in there are duplicative of USPAP. And I know with, the new USPAP material coming out, it's my understanding that the majority of that is going to be on case study. So it could be very duplicative for participants to have to endure both of those classes that are mandatory. I understand, the fundamentals, and, it's important that everybody hear it, but I probably heard that class at least 10 times, and I could see the folks, in the audience, because I was sitting monitoring them the entire time, and you were losing them. It was too long, dragged out. My personal opinion.
Okay. Is there anyone else from the public who may have called in that would like to make a comment or share their thoughts on this matter?
Commissioner Rasmussen, the only one outside of the commission members and DCP staff members is Jackie Bouchane, who just commented.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you. You're
All
welcome.
right. Any thoughts from my fellow members on the commission?
Well, one of the options is to follow up what Linda just said, and we don't have Linda Sepso here, Commissioner Sepso, but I think it would be prudent to get her in here, but I think maybe we can consider putting a little group together to re-look at it for the next cycle, as opposed to doing any changes now. I'm game with not changing anything now in the mid-cycle. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Shauna, you got any thoughts?
No, I mean, it makes sense to leave it for the cycle, like Linda says, only because we're gonna have different people having different amount of hours, but I do think it's long. I just think that maybe we'd make the recommendation that we know we'll go to 3, but for the cycle, leave it at 4.
Okay. Norris?
I agree with everybody's comments, including Linda. Keep it the same until we'll look at it again come the next cycle.
One thing that our folks who put this together, and I mean, even before I was on it, when the law was put into place, it's very interesting that we put a 3-hour law thing together, and it left it pretty open for us to interpret what you want to comprise of it here. And no one ever, when they put this in 25 years ago or whatever it was, that, we didn't know that we'd be getting these additional requirements of supervisor appraiser and so forth, that we have those regulations. So we've been, in essence, fortunate to have this mechanism in place to cover these things that are going forward here. We have the document right now, we're at 4 hours. That doesn't mean we have to spoon feed everyone every word that goes through it. We as professionals should be able to, one would think, could, let our eyes do the walking and reading interpretation and bring up the things that are, discussion points, hot topics of the day, whatever they may be. And I think that that's all well and good. I think the intentions of when we went to 3 to 4 were grounded in merit. But it's one thing when we look at there and then we take it out to the field and we get the representation of what the participants are looking at and so forth. I will tell you, many, many instructors came up to me and said, what the heck are you doing? Okay, why the heck, maybe not the heck was used, did we go to 4 hours, but 3 seems to be the way to go and so forth. But I hear the sentiment of our members. Is this something that we want to entertain a motion now, or since we don't meet in August, make it formal in September, that the next cycle goes for 3 hours, or do you want to head it on right now?
I think we should wait for Linda, because Linda wrote this, so she might have some input into this. So I think we should wait till September. Plus, the other thing is, we haven't talked about it, but the regulation change that was going through, that may go through, and that might be something that we add a slide to that would probably, believe it or not, I think could suck up a half hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we will then put this on the agenda for under old business for September to
Can I just
revisit.
ask one question, Jerry? I think I just wanted to hear, because Jackie had indicated that she had attended so many. Does she have a suggestion as a person who had insight as to, what was too much of? If she has some insight, I would love to hear what her comment is. Maybe she has a suggestion as to something that could be included as opposed to us having too much use PAP, as I understand what she was saying.
Would you like that, Vicky, to be a separate call? So therefore, that may be an hour or an hour and a half of discussion, and rightfully
Okay,
so.
yes, that's something we could follow up if she's amenable to that. I don't want to put her on the spot, but I would, just like to hear, some input, because it doesn't make sense for us to just, operate in a vacuum if there is some way that we can improve it, knowing that we
Right.
may have the 4 hours for, this upcoming, time period.
Jackie, are you game
Yep.
for that?
Yep, Vicky, I'm happy to speak with you, and I know that the instructors that the chapter utilized, I'm sure that they would be happy also to give their input on it. Again, no offense to the program that was written. I know that a lot of time and work went into that, but it hasn't changed that much, and unfortunately for the students to sit there and maybe hear it over and over again, maybe it's just, I think it's labored a little bit. Some of the things could be not, again, the case studies and all that, as Jerry had said, some of it could be read, or some of the other things, and for somebody to sit for 4 hours and hear some of those things, I think that given the manual and the instructions and the PowerPoint, that maybe some of it doesn't have to be read slide for slide, because unfortunately that's kind of what happened for some of it, because there
Okay,
was.
that's fair. What we'll do is we'll meet, we'll get some times that we can get together and maybe just do a little bit of brainstorming and just to get some input
Excellent.
before we start.
Happy to be a part of it. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, very good. Thank you, everyone, for everyone's input.
And can I just ask Jerry, so
Yeah.
if you guys will take a look at the PowerPoint and, as John said, the statutes, the regs have changed. We have to change some of the slides to reflect that. If you have any suggestions of what needs to be changed on the slides that we currently have, if you can send them to either me or to Terry Jo by mid-August, that way Vicky and I can meet and with Jackie, with Linda, and we can have a presentation of what we propose in September, so we can get the new stuff out to the schools as soon as possible.
Sounds great. I think that's a great option. So the onus is on us as members of the commission, that if we have any suggestions, comments, edits, whatever it may be, we have to get that to you in about a month from now. Is that fair to
Yeah.
say, Linda?
Right, I'm gonna offer the date of August 15th, even though I know that's on a Sunday, just because that's the halfway point.
Yep.
And that just gives us, drop dead date, and then we'll know how to move forward.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what date was that? August what?
15th. John, for you,
On
August 5th.
before August
August 5th for
15th?
you, John.
5th.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, right?
Well, we're trying to have you move you along, August 15th, John, 15th. Okay, great. Good. All right, number 2 on your use path. Is there, I don't know why that's on there, but go ahead. It's old business, so go ahead.
I just, I wasn't sure if, Linda's not here, if she had heard anything new as an instructor. My understanding from the ASC is new materials will be provided and they'll be coming out in October or November.
Okay. Any other thoughts on use path by any other members of the commission or the public? Hearing none, then we will see what happens in September then, Linda. Thank you for keeping it on there, because something's we just don't know, what they're gonna do. So,
Right.
good. All right, and then number 3, PAREA, sounds like me singing in kindergarten class. What do we got here?
I don't have anything new on it. I really haven't had time to go and review everything from the AQB on it. This is the, in lieu of having a sponsor
Yeah,
stuff, and, you know, no new information has come out on it. As far as I know, none of the schools are currently have anything actively in place.
the only thing that I've heard, and I'm off by about 3 weeks on this, okay, that it kind of had run into a quagmire. They got more blowback than they ever anticipated, on it here. And it's like many things, you try something, it sounds good until you roll it out into the, into the marketplace. And then as many angles as you looked at, there might have been things that they didn't think of or unintended consequences that they're exploring. Now, Lord knows where they are today. That's all that I know, okay?
And I know nothing else either. No new
Okay.
information has been released.
Very good. Okay, that takes care of old business. And Vicky, I'm so sorry. I look here. I usually, I like to go through legal right up front. So let's take care of legal right now. Anything you need to add, subtract, let us know that we've goofed or whatever the case may be. The floor is yours.
I think if I remember correctly, I thought that the proposed changes were sent to the commission members previously.
I do believe that is the case.
Yeah, so I don't have anything new per
Okay.
se.
All right. And anything that was boiling or came out at the last time, because we maybe didn't cover things in June from the end of the legislative session back in May that we should be aware of. We were trying to be so focused, whatever our friends at the ASC needed, wanted, or were telling us that may have gone right over my head that we should be brought up, or we're A-okay.
Well, I think a part of what is a concern to the department, not so much a concern, but we have some new AMC stuff that we have to worry about. And in terms of the changes as to what the cycle will be, isn't that a part of our concerns, Linda? I think.
Yeah, the House Bill 6100 did pass. Governor did sign it. Part of it changes a couple of things that you guys should be aware of. It changes when brokers, which doesn't really affect us, but changes when brokers receive their license and they're flip-flopping with home improvement based on home improvement work cycle. So they're flip-flopping. The other thing is continuing education. It will not affect, and I talked to Director Elliott, it definitely will not affect this cycle that's due in 2022, because it's way too close to try to do it, because it doesn't go into effect until October. But for 2024, all CE must be completed and submitted to the department 3 months prior to licensure. So in January of 2024, CE will be due for appraisers. And this way, if the CE isn't in, they don't even get a renewal notice.
Yeah. Okay. Just as a sidebar, so you don't think that the department or the legislature, or we'll just use the state as whole, as being unrealistic. I got notice yesterday at 1 o'clock that the state of Ohio went and changed their rules. And because my Ohio license happens to expire, or it's due for renewal on August 15th, I had to have everything in by midnight of last night.
Wow.
And they made a decision last week that said that virtual classes will not count. So here I had these virtual classes and so forth. I literally had 21 hours evaporate. And I had to go immediately and then, push the envelope late yesterday afternoon to get a class that would meet not only Ohio, but Nevada, and then went till 9:45 last night to, meet the midnight deadline. So we are being very reasonable when I compare to our colleagues across the land. And I know at first when you say that we're going to be talking, 3 months ahead, there are more that are like that. California is 4 months ahead. They're the, they're the farthest one out, but to be told and, at around, a little bit around lunchtime yesterday, the end of lunchtime, that this has all popped up, and that was a decision made late last week in Ohio, and I'm one of the ones who got caught into it. So we've met it, but just to give you an idea what is going on around the country. So it is.
Yeah,
what
I
it is.
mean, I discussed it with our director of licensing, as I said, Mike Elliott, and, we're in agreement, and it'll be the same for brokers, salespeople. It'll be everyone. It won't go into effect without enough notice because then we need the notice also, the department. So, and the schools need notice to start teaching courses because we know most appraisers don't take courses until the month or two before they're due.
This may be an
So,
emphasis that we have in our law update course, who knows?
Vicky,
Right.
you couldn't be, you just took the words out of my mouth because we have a school, Jackie, the school here, for Shauna, who's very involved with the assessment community, John, I, Linda, with the appraisal community, Norris from the open thing. So so we're going to be asked these questions. So let's lay it right on the table right now. So for having our license that will end or expire on April 30th of 2022, we don't have to worry about the cycle right now with that law. Am I correct on that?
correct.
Okay,
We
so
still are going to require them to upload their CE
right.
when they renew.
Okay, so then for those licenses that it will expire on April 30th of 2024, I'll use me as the guinea pig here, will have to have my CE certificates uploaded by January 1st, February 1st. What's the magic date?
I believe it's January 31st, but
Okay.
it may be January 1st. I need to clarify that with licensing.
Okay, could you get that clarified? So we'll
Yeah.
bring, and we get that clarified for the September meeting. That's
Yeah.
the key. So when the Lindas, the Shawns, the Bruce Hunters, whoever is teaching this, hey, let people get a heads up. You're
Mhm.
good now, but guess what? The next cycle, it ain't April 30th, folks. It's January 31st, February 1st.
Well, it will
whatever
also
that
be
date
put
is.
on our website. We will put it on our website so that, there will be access to it, and we will make sure that there will be notifications that are sent out.
Yeah, this is affecting every license that has continuing education, not just appraisers.
Right, so
It's
it
for
will be
all
on the website.
licenses.
I'd rather just be proactive.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Let's just,
And
folks, this is where it's at, and you
And
will
the
still
other
hear
thing
people.
that's
Yeah.
changing, the other thing that will be changing is, if you notice on your license renewals, the year that CE is due, we pay $16 extra. It will now be $8 extra each year. So the licenses are going to increase 1 year by 8 and decrease 1 year by 8.
Okay, and that's also important to be brought out, as Jackie was just saying here, people are sitting in these things. You give them real nuggets of information here, that's going to be a discussion, and I just would rather our instructors and everyone, we're all on the same page, so
Right.
we're all fighting through it
I
here.
have
So
notes for that to be changed in the law course. To be
great.
added.
So could you just make sure let's use me as the ding dong here, that I'm knowledgeable at our September meeting, what the
Yeah.
exact dates are and so forth. Then we can take it from there. Great. Thank you. Any other thoughts? I'm sorry, commission members, any members of the commission, any other input or thoughts or questions?
Vicky, on the changes we made to the regs, is there still, I think you touched on it, but I was writing. Any more change in that? Any status on that?
I'm sorry, John, can you say it again? I couldn't hear you.
On the changes that we previously submitted for the regs to our licensing law? Are those still going, any?
I want to say that the last report that I saw was that Jerry Padula had said that all of the updates were sent to the AG's office for review, but I will check and I can have something more concrete for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. All right, good.
Wait,
Vicky,
I-
anything else? Oh, I'm sorry, Shauna. I'm
Well, I was
sorry.
just gonna ask Linda, do you really think this is gonna save you time by looking at these certificates and stuff 3 months in advance? It's just gonna be moving it ahead and then telling the computer not to send somebody a renewal. I really don't see how it's gonna save you time, but it is what it is.
We weren't consulted. It was done by the department, by licensing. And the commissioner and the, whoever wrote the, right, you know, the statute changes, so. It's, you know, department wide, so.
It is good department-wide, but I don't really see where it's saving, but that's what somebody makes the decision for.
Well, I know for some of the other occupations, it was a real issue. The ones that have really, really large numbers, I'll just say like the plumbers and electricians. It was really an issue in terms of being able to, I'll
Yeah,
say,
trying to do an audit.
track, if you will, or audit, you know, when things were done. So I think that was one of the reasons. I mean, we do, don't forget, we do hundreds of licenses or permits or registration. So this is just factored in. The appraisal part is just factored in, but there's many licenses that the department oversees, and overall, it was determined that this was the best way to proceed.
Okay. Well, it certainly is going to get people's attention, and there's certainly going to be people 2-3 years from now going to say, I didn't know. So that goes with the territory, no matter how hard we do it, but let's put our best effort forward. That's all we can do. So great. Anything else, Vicky? I'm sorry. This is great. You're letting, keeping us on.
No, I'm all set. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for everything. All right, schools and courses. Were they reviewed? I know it does, maybe Linda's been held up or what have you. We have, we say change to application process. So Linda, can you give us a quick update what you mean under schools and courses, change to the application process?
We've been having some issues with certain schools who just don't seem to be able to upload their materials correctly. So we've tried to, I've been working with the head of IT, trying to streamline the process to make it easier for them. We think we have a solution. So the schools have all been notified about the change. The issue is now if somebody looks in our e-licensing, it will just list the name of the school as having a course. It won't list the actual courses. So we have to update the website to show there is a separate section of the website, which I didn't even know existed, that will list all the actual course names. So
Okay.
we will be putting that on the website to redirect people there to find the actual courses. But so far it seems to be working as far as uploading the courses correctly for us.
When did this go into effect?
It went into effect in the end of May.
Okay, so we've gotten 6 weeks into it so far.
Yeah, so so
Okay.
far, we'll see the main school that was having an issue, I actually met with on Teams and went over step by step what to do. So they haven't uploaded anything yet, so we shall see.
Okay. Any questions by members of the commission? General public, staff? Okay, very good. Number 2, it says courses approved by the department all have AQB approval. So you just need, and that's AAL 804, appraising small apartment properties by McKissick. AAL 805, desktop appraisal assignments and overview by McKissick. AAL 808, focus on FHA minimum property requirements by McKissick. And so do you need a motion for that? Or when I see that we're already approved, that's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, you guys usually just move to accept them.
Okay, why don't we then, I'll entertain a motion for under schools and courses number 2 for the 3 courses just mentioned, AL 804, 805, and 808, with continuing education CE credits for 6 hours, 3 hours, and 4 hours as designated within our agenda. Can I get a motion to accept?
I make a motion to accept.
John makes the motion to accept. A second?
I'll second it.
Norris is a second. Okay, questions, edits, or concerns? Hearing none, we'll vote aye. All in favor, aye.
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 Nay, okay, nays, exceptions, okay, so number 2 passes on those 3. The next thing, number 3, under schools and courses, it says courses to be approved by the commission. We have AAL 806, 2021 Keynote Vegas, Altera Group LLC for 7 hours of CE. We also then have AAL 807, 2021 Modern Appraisal, Vegas, Altera Group LLC. Have these been reviewed, or what do we got here?
Yeah, they were sent to Linda and I did get an email back from her that they were okay.
Okay, so Linda has reviewed them and feel comfortable. Okay, okay, can I, let me just, I'll start with a motion and then we'll have the comments after. Can I get a motion to approve AAL 806 and AAL 807, both for 7 hours of CE?
I'll make the motion.
Norris makes the motion. Can I get a second?
Yes, that'd be me.
Okay, John, will that be you? I think so.
That'd be me.
All right, very good. John, second. Now questions, edits, and so forth. Let me ask you this. This is Altera Group LLC. Are they a approved school for us?
Yes.
Okay,
It's their conference that they do out in Vegas every year, and we've always approved it in the past, so,
uh-huh. Okay,
except
so
for last year, which they didn't have.
understand. Okay. I have no other questions. And from the members of the commission, any questions? Concerns? Comments? Hearing none, then I will call the motion to a vote. Ayes,
Aye.
Aye.
nays, abstentions? We're all good. We have taken care of on the courses. Now, because we typically don't meet in August, and this is what's on the agenda for schools and courses, was there anything else we need to add to the agenda for schools and courses at this time?
I did not have a chance yesterday to look to see if anything had come in. I did look very quickly this morning. There was one thing from McKissick, but it does have AQB approval, so that's something I can go ahead and do.
Yeah, you
And
need a
that's all
motion
that's in the
for that?
system.
Do you,
What?
do you need a motion for that? So we keep it moving forward, or is this something that you'll move it forward, then we do a formality in September?
Yeah, we can do it that way. So that's what anything that does come in the next, week or two that has AQB approval, I will go ahead and do the same as I've been doing. And that was the only thing that was in the system that
Okay.
wasn't on this agenda.
Fair enough. All right, very good. Any other questions or concerns by members of the commission on schools and courses? Hearing none. Okay, we'll move to the next thing on the agenda. It says comments or concerns of any persons present today. It's an open question. I'll just say I am confirming that we do not have a meeting in August. Am I correct with that?
Correct.
Okay. In the event that there is a urgent matter, then we will call meeting if we have to, if circumstances warrant it, but in 26 years or whatever it is on this, I think we've had to do that twice. So let's not go for 3, as they say. All right, but if we need to. All right, any other comments? Nothing to be said?
I just want to know, do you think in September we'd be back at Hartford?
I don't think so. I know they have approved commission meetings statewide through April
Of next year?
of next year. They've given permission, so I don't foresee us being back in this year at least at all. That's just my opinion.
Okay. All right. I know that as a company here, we are going for how they go instead of a soft sell to a hard sell, and it's almost a weekly new memo, you know, encouraging you to come in, strongly encouraging you to come in. But we know we have a September 1 hard deadline. That's, you know, you're going to be in the office here at our company on September 1.
Back in full-time? Those
Yes.
that were there full-time?
Yep,
Wow.
yep. There's no ands, if, or buts.
Hey, my boss has been making me come in every day.
Yeah. As well as they should, as well as she should. She should be in there every day, you know?
I just find it better because of distractions. Being in my office, I get distracted.
Yeah, I understand.
Does
All
Jill
right.
have any comment for it?
Hmm?
Does Jill have any comments for us?
I don't. I'll just say good morning and hello to everybody.
Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing more to be presented or questions, I will entertain a motion to adjourn at 9:15. Motion?
Give it to Norris.
You can ask them, they might be able to just put you in a bill.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Norris. The second,
Second.
John second, comments, edits, ayes,
Aye.
nays,
Aye.
extensions. Thank you very much, folks. Have a good summer. Let's hope for some sunshine. You know, I don't want to hear anything about drought.